Yo, mic check. What up? Happy Saturday, everybody. How am I sounding? Are we loud and clear? Bitcoin is moving, guys. As soon as I can get it confirmed that you guys can hear me okay, I'll get started. Lord Dark Winter, what's up, my guy? Rensler. Brooklyn Cooper, what's going on, fellas? Let's go, Bitcoin. Nice. Very nice. Hello. Okay, cool. I'm gonna get started. So today, weekend. Not really expecting anything crazy. Yeah, I took a little scalp here. Looks like we're getting shut down at weekly VWAP, possibly. Might turn this into a short. But I just wanted to take today. I don't want to go over alts today or anything like that. I just pretty much want to kind of do a little tutorial on EXO Charts and kind of introduce you guys to that. I've been going over trading light again and again. What you guys see here, you can see a whole bunch of huge orders just hit in the book. Me personally, I'm expecting a shutdown somewhere, and I can hop into a short and chill up here at the weekend highs because if you look at the lows, they look terrible for the day, and I think this action retraces. So we'll look at that in a second. Tell you guys how to analyze that, but we're getting some good action, getting some good spot bids up here. Some decent spot bids. These are spot bids. These are perp bids. You can see the perps hitting the sell button over here, as they always do first. I think I might join them in a second. But so with that said, what's up, everybody? Stephen Anthony, how you doing? Let's get started, guys. So for a while, I wasn't using EXO Charts. I was kind of trying to work off of this heat map thing strictly, and I realized that this works great when the market is trending. For moves like this or for moves like that, but for sideways action, it's not that useful. You see orders in the book, right? You see all these people stepping in up here. You see the sellers stepping in, but these are just advertisements, and they don't really mean that those people are trying to get their orders filled. So it's really not as helpful as using the footprint chart and taking a look at the TPO and see what's going on there. So let's hop into it. Let's hop into EXO Charts. So here we are, EXO. What I have here on the top, I can't tell you how much did I miss this thing. I really, really, really missed it. So what these are called, hold on one second. These are called trend reversal candles, right? And as we all know, price kind of, a time candle isn't really all that helpful. It's going to print the candle 15 minutes every half hour, no matter what. It's going to print one of those candles. And when you go sideways, it's going to keep printing those candles. So what we have here are called trend reversal candles. And basically, they take into account, this is the TPO chart, time price opportunity chart. We'll look at that in depth in a second. This is your volume profile, the same one like you would see the visible range on TradingView. But these candles only print if price reverses from a certain number of ticks. So these are, what do I have it set to? 210 by 140 ticks. So if it goes this many ticks in one direction and then that amount of ticks in the other direction, it will start to print another candle. And they're amazing for, just staying in your trade and, basically seeing is there actual movement in price instead of just, every 5-minute candle going up and down. So this is super helpful, right? Because this is your value area highlighted here. And, as I said again and again, unless you're an amazing scalper who can catch, every 5-minute candle that is going to reverse, these are the type of trades that you want to take. So this little dip right outside of value, which was yesterday when we came down to like 38.4, 38.3, and back into the value area. And I'm sorry, that was that was the end of the day yesterday. This was late on Thursday night when after the open, we basically sold off at the open of Asia, went sideways down here, and you could see it just keeps printing these candles going sideways when you're not moving. Dip below 38.5 and then made that nice move overnight, and then it was faded in the morning, right? So you can see when you get outside of value, this is where you start looking for your trades, right? This, that would have been an amazing short. Even when if you were to short just going back into value, you would have had a nice trade down to those lows, right? Outside of value, nice reversal back in. And this is interesting that this is happening while I'm doing this, because you see this little box right here. This is called a sell tail, right? So a sell tail basically is telling you that price spiked and there's no volume at the highs, and it's usually a sign to take that trade and sell it, right? I'm not going to do it while I'm in the stream. Probably get another pop. But this is very valuable information. And when we go to TPL, I'll show you how good that works. So that's that. These are trend reversal candles. They're amazing. If you guys ever do sign up for EXO Charts, so this is what I'm using. Is called the Desktop Pro. So you gotta pay for this. It's like $30 a month. You guys can see my settings here. I'm sure you're gonna have crazy questions about settings, but it's an amazing tool, and I'm so glad that I started using it again. So with that, we'll go to some order flow here. Now, as you guys could see up top, what I said about a sell tail is there was zero volume as we popped up to 39.5. There was zero sell volume up here, and you know, people tried to keep buying it up and reversed, right? That's a sell tail. That's what it looks like. So, I've been posting online about, um, what a bottom looks like and what a top looks like using this information. You guys would have seen it, and it would have looked something like this, right? So, imbalance up here, no volume, that's a trade, right? That's a sell. So these are called volume clusters, and then this is called the bid-ask profile. So you could see better, like, exactly what is happening within the price level. So there's a lot of buying here, not that much selling here. And I have it set to imbalance mode. So imbalance is, it's showing you these green imbalances, right? So what an imbalance is basically, their price levels cross, right? So this is the bid, this is the ask, right? This is the bid, this is the ask. So what it's basically saying is, and I think I have it set to 2.5 times. So here on the bid, it's 2.5 times, or here on the bid, right, is 2.5 times the amount on the ask below, right? That's an imbalance, right? That's what it's showing you. So buyers are dominating sellers, and same thing on the other side. It'd be sellers dominating buyers at a price level, right? Super helpful in determining if direction is going to change. So going back down here, right, I just want to show you really quickly. These are today's lows, right? No volume down here, just quick pop, and made a decent move up. But I think over the weekend we're gonna retrace these lows. There's absolutely no volume at today's lows. You had a spike at the open, and you basically had this rejection up top here, right? So super helpful. I am so glad that I'm back using my footprint chart, because I'm gonna make so much more money. This is your edge right here, folks. Once you know how to read this and use it properly. So this is the footprint chart. You guys can see my settings. And also another great thing about EXO, you can actually look at net shorts and net longs compared to just overall open interest. Where you look at overall open interest and you're like, okay, well, open interest is going up. What does that mean? But here you can actually separate and say, oh, well, you can look and say, oh, wow, okay, net shorts are going up, or net shorts are going down, net longs are going up. Super helpful, amazing. I love this. It's the best. So that's just like a little, quick footprint analysis. I mean, there's so much more to it than just no volume at the highs, imbalance. My buddy Ryan has an amazing class, Block Roots, where he really digs deep into this. But this is kind of a quick stream today I'm doing on the weekend, but just kind of show you how this works, right? And in addition, you have your points of control. So how you have a point of control in a daily, volume profile chart, you can see within here, okay, this is the highest volume was. Came over here, continued up above this point of control. It is an awesome tool, and you guys should really take a crack at using it. It's amazingly helpful, and it not just on short time frames. Like, you can look here, you know, like I was posting about what bottoms and tops look like, right? So you have your low time frame and you have your high time frame, right? So if we go to a daily chart, and you can see here on the higher time frames, I like to use this one versus just not this one, this one, which is awesome at just showing you the big picture, kind of. So as you can see up here, I'm changing my tick size, right? The tick size is super. The tick size basically, you know, if I'm zoomed out, I want a higher tick size than if I'm zoomed in. I usually use like a 25 tick size when it's like short time frame stuff. But you know, now I'm zoomed out for like a couple weeks, and you know, just to show you guys kind of big picture what has kind of happened over the last couple of weeks, right? So I pointed this out to you guys that this is what a, you know, this is what a bottom looks like, right? Hundreds of millions of orders, heavy volume at the lows. You can see the imbalance right there, and that led to the move up, right? We were still getting, you know, very high volume up here at the highs, not diving down, imbalance at the lows, and each one of these is a day right now. You know, attempt to pull back, still pretty strong volume, heavy volume here, right? Heavy volume at 38, and that led to the move up, right? So, and then we kind of stalled out at the top, and the same thing happens at the top as at the bottom, right? You see the sell imbalances up here, right? See that, and heavy volume right here in this area, right? And this is 40, 44, 46, right? So you see that volume is dying out at the highs, attempting to, you know, get some support and push back up, and then ultimately breaks down, right? You can see on the breakdown days, there's really no volume. You know, you just sweep through. And, you know, we've done it multiple times that we sweep up through. We got some decent volume on the way up here, but sweep back down through 42, from 42 to 38, right? We've done it multiple times already. Same thing here, sweep up, no volume in the middle, sweep down. So another great way to look at this, to look at the market, like bigger picture. I love looking at this thing, you know, so you can get as granular as you want for low time frame, or you can, you know, really zoom out and say, all right, what's happening here? You know, if you look at today, right now, nothing at the highs, and then you got imbalances of sellers straight down. You can see price dipping. That was the trade right there. Baited the sellers in. Baited the buyers in, thinking that they were going to get a run, and nothing. they're gonna get slaughtered right now. Now we're gonna go down to that bottom and fill in. You know, you could see down here. Right? Only 1 million orders. Basically nothing down here that we pushed up off of. So if we sweep through this area of volume here, it's just gonna dump. You know, if we basically come back down under this area below 39, it's gonna dump back to the lows. So that is just kind of the volume, how the volume cluster works. Same thing as this. I mean, the big focus is on the imbalances and where the volume is coming in and where the volume is dying out, right? Set this back to that. All right, cool. Yeah, no, everything I'm showing you right now is the paid version. If you use the free version, you can do everything that I'm doing on a daily chart only. So you can't zoom in like this on a 15-minute candle and, you know, see that shutdown close up. But, you know, you can take a daily candle and zoom all the way out like this, but who the hell wants to do this while you're trading? So I recommend paying for it, to be honest. It's worth it. It's worth every dollar and more. I would pay way more for it. Order flow is like something people don't realize is that order flow is like a priceless thing, man. It's like if you wanted to order flow for the S&P 500, you'd be paying like thousands of dollars a month to get S&P 500 order flow. Like a ridiculous amount of money. Like if you want order flow to, like, you know, the CME futures for the S&P 500, I don't even know. I'm just guessing here, but it's probably like $3,000 a month, something like that. So paying $40-$50 for something like this is just a no-brainer, in my opinion. It's pennies on the dollar. You know, if you're using it properly, you should make it in half of a trade, even if you're trading with like a couple of $100. So anyway, that's that. Wanted to go over that. So you can see here, you know, going back to our sell tail, shut down, sell tail, and our trend reversal candles are dumping. Right now hitting the TPO, you know, point of control, and the this is the TPO point of control. This is the volume point of control. They're usually, you know, a lot of times they're in the same area, but when they're not, is, you know, represents an opportunity. That's why it's called time price opportunity. But right now these are kind of lining up. Probably get a bounce here and then a breakdown. That's what I'm thinking. So that's that. And then let's go over the TPO chart. So you know, it's if you guys, this thing is, it's hard to set up. It takes time, but once you set it up and you save it, you save your template, save your workspace, it just starts up just like this, and it's fantastic. I love it. So here we go. Now here's the magic chart. I posted this earlier about how beautiful this thing is. So I used to get this info from Quant Tower, right? And Quant Tower gives you this for free, but it's definitely not the equivalent. It doesn't even compare. Um, so if you take a look here, take these markers off really quick. We'll go into those in this. I'll show you those in a second. But so this is the last week, right? We have, so what I just showed you, you can see here, it's the same thing on this chart as I showed you on the other one. ST stands for sell tail. So basically between 39,440 and 39,300, basically, there was just no volume that occurred. And it's basically telling you that it's probably, price is just going to slip from there because there's nothing to prop it up, right? Quant Tower does offer a TPO chart like this, but it's that, I'm sorry, the Quant Tower TPO is not free. You got to pay for the crypto package, which honestly, if you're gonna pay for that, I would much rather pay for this. The only thing that Quant Tower does that you can't do in EXO is execute. So I do use my Quant Tower to execute my trades, but I really like when it comes to TPO, when it comes to the profile, like it just doesn't compare with the EXO Charts TPO and profile. So, showing you guys here right now this sell tail. Now, if you look back, you can see how many good trades have occurred this week just because of this little box that pops up here. So, sell tail right here on the 5th. I don't know what day the 5th was, but a week ago. So I guess Saturday. Right here, sell tail, 39.6. You would have sold the top, right? Straight to the bottom. Held it. Sell tail. Right here, we popped up, 39.5. Rejection. Sell tail represents a rejection. It means no volume and price is probably going to reverse. So, sell tail. Boom. Amazing trade. All the way to the 37.1 lows. Buy tail. Right here. Tried to sell it down. No volume. Price reversed. Came back down here for support. And, this area held up. And that would have been your long all the way to the top, where there was another sell tail, right? Which would have, you would have sold the top. You would have bought the bottom. You would have sold the top. Right here, this is probably selling the top, and then hopefully there'll be another one at the bottom. This area here, these boxes are called single prints. These are single prints, right? So a sell tail is a single print area at a high, or a single print area, or a buy tail is a single print area at a low. So these are just areas where price moves through extremely swiftly, spends no time, and that creates a single print. So you can see here, we kind of paused for a little bit between, like 41 and 40 and a half. Then we made another swift move, right? So swift move up, and then we got up to the top and kind of consolidated. Last punch to the top, rejection, sell, right? And then on the way down, another single print area, swiftly move through, tried to attempt to reverse price here, another single print area, down back into this range, right? Yes, it does form live. So if you go back and rewind this video, when I was on this other chart here, when I was describing this chart, this popped up while we were talking, right? So that was the cue to sell. So going back here, some other helpful things in the TPO are, hold on 1 second. So obviously, you know, you have your TPO. So the TPO is very similar to the volume profile, except it's based on time, right? Time spent in an area compared to the amount of volume conducted in that area. So if you look here on this day, this would be, I guess, Thursday. This is your volume profile, and this is your TPO chart. So you have your same thing as a volume profile. You got your value area high and your value area low, right? As I discussed with you guys many times, the best trades are taken outside of the value area high and low. This is just mostly chop. This is where you get chopped up and you lose your money, right? So this is where you don't really want to get into a trade. And one thing I want to make clear on this video is, like, a lot of people, you know, I talk about the point of control a lot, and when people think of the point of control, they think of it as, oh, it's the point of control. If the price goes over the point of control, that's a buy. And if price goes below the point of control, that's a sell. And that is totally 100% wrong. You do not. The point of control is usually the worst place to get involved, right? Sometimes, some instances where a point of control might be a good place to attempt a trade is if, like, let's say a VWAP, right, and a point of control are lining up, right? That VWAP with that point of control creates, you know, confluence of resistance or support. So that's one of the rare instances where I would get involved in the point of control. But, you know, you can see here, fading this move up here, right? That was an amazing trade, you know, all the way to these lows, and buying these lows outside of this area would have gotten you up to the highs again, right? So that is how you use a TPO chart. Same thing here. Yesterday, you got outside the value area high. We didn't spend much time up here. Didn't get much volume up here. Take your short, right? Now this develops as the day is going on. You know, it's easy to look at things in hindsight and be like, oh, well, this looks easy. I would have, just short up here and buy down here. But, you know, when the day starts, right, this is the start of the day. We came down here. Now this value area would have been like very small right here. Then the value area would have been getting bigger and bigger down here. You know, basically, if it's spending time down here, then the value area gets bigger, right? and you don't want to buy like, okay, it's at the bottom of the value area. You kind of want to let this build and see what happens when price comes outside of it. If price would have stayed outside of it, down here, and then you're getting volume, that's called being accepted. You don't buy when price is being accepted down here. You buy when either it reclaims into the value area, or you're not seeing the volume at the lows. You're seeing it, you know, get bid up. This is where you start looking for your imbalances, right? So that's that. I think we did a good job going over the TPO chart so far. And then also, maybe I don't want to go over this here. We'll go over it here. So this little thing on the right is called the DOM, right? It's the depth of market. This is that thing that you see flickering on your exchange page, and you're like, what the hell is that thing? I have no idea what it means. What does this actually do? And basically, this is how you should be looking at a DOM, right? So this is where we're at. Right now, you have sellers dominating the depth of market, right? You have 107 or 100, and obviously it's changing as I'm looking at it, but above you have about 100 of Bitcoin above you, right? The sellers are trying to block price from going back up. Now, if the buyers wanted to buy this, you would see more of a, even kind of split here, right? So basically, you have 100 Bitcoin on the ask, and 50 on the bid, right? So sellers are dominating. Now as we push up, and they, you'll start to see this go down, right? But right now, their sellers are still dominating. Well, we're actually moving up a little bit here. So this is called the bid-ask spread, right? So below you can see, the books are really thin right now. So sometimes you'll see an area below where people are, they want to get involved. The price comes down, and step in and buy, right? So price is moving back up. So you can kind of see when this changes color, it's like who's dominating the bid-ask spread, right? Now it's the buyers. Sellers, level moves up. Then it's the sellers, moves down. So it's constantly moving, but basically, the books are pretty evenly stacked right now. If you would have seen it at the top, you would have seen that the buyers were really heavy above 39.2, and then just when we got up here, that was just straight market sellers that knocked us back down here, right? So depth of market, bid-ask spread, who's dominating, who's losing the battle. But right now it's kind of even, but if I would have showed it to you, a couple of hours ago or an hour ago, you would have seen where sellers really wanted to get involved. And if we go down low, if we are at the bottom, you'll see where the buyers really want to get involved. So that's that. And if you this is only available on Bybit if you're using Exocharts, right? So before I trade on FTX, so on FTX you don't have the live information like that, but it's fine. I don't really need it. Um, I could just look at Trading Light and get that. So let's see here. Huge rejection, weekly VWAP, hanging around the point of control for this area. Um, like I said, expect boring. It's I don't really expect anything big. Fade the highs, buy the lows. That's kind of what I'm looking at right now. We'll look at the chart in a second. We'll look at the regular chart in a second. I don't want to go over alts today, but we'll just focus on Bitcoin. Just kind of wanted this to be a little educationalism because you're going to see me using EXO more and more. So I kind of wanted you guys to see kind of the basics of how it worked. And when you see me posting the charts up on Twitter, you'll understand what you're looking at. Yeah, I will. I think I do have a ref link for EXO. I'll post that up on the. I'll post it on the stream after it's done. So let's go over some questions right now, and then we'll look at the standard chart. We'll look at levels. But anybody have questions about, what I've gone over so far? And Michael, answering your question, EXO, you can look at multiple exchanges. So basically here, this is the Desktop Pro, like I said, but you can. I wanted to go over this really quickly. OI is going up a little bit, and funding is negative across the board. So that's why I wasn't too crazy to short that, because I just kind of feel like it's just going to range. Nothing big. I'm actually going to be running out in a bit anyway, so probably would have just been a scalp. One thing I wanted to bring up, I kind of posted about seeing weird coins making moves that it was kind of like, why are these coins moving? And now it's like all starting to make sense. If you guys have been paying attention, Korea has a new president, and it's it's kind of a derogatory name, but they call it the kimchi premium, because a lot of coins that are traded, that basically on the Korean exchanges, they trade for a premium, and I guess in won to like a USD pair in Korean won, and this is kind of what you're seeing people chasing, stellar lumens, because they tend to buy those older 2017 coins that we really don't pay attention to anymore. Monero, Waves, Iconics, those were my 4 years ago, those were my plays. Like, those were the coins that I was flipping back in the day, back in the old days. So yeah, I just wanted to bring that up. It might be something to fade in a little bit if Bitcoin breaks down here, because Waves in particular is up like 40%. Just something to look at. But yeah, going back to your question about the different So you got Bybit, you got BitMEX, you got OKX and FTX and Binance. Those are all of the um, exchanges you can use for XO. And this is the web browser version. Works just as good as the other version. Um, I just like it because with the this version you can, you know, I can have the DOM here. I can have you can load web pages as well, certain web pages. So I could load my trading light into Exocharts. I could load my AgriTrade into EXO. So that answers your question. Do 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 do. Just going through the questions here. I gotta stop doing that. Do 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 do. I don't know. I just do it. Give you guys some background noise while I'm reading. Is there a way to get a view across exchanges? No. So there's no like aggregate, like book map type of thing like that. So no, nothing like that with EXO. Yeah, Ruko. Crossover POC can lead to a puke sometimes. But, not always, man. Like right now, we're going past the POC right now and we're not puking. This could bounce right back up in your face. Hopefully you got into the short higher, but it's just not a given, right? So let's look here. This is the point of control all day, right? If you sold it there, okay, you got right here. It's breaking the point of control. No, it's not. Right here, break of the point of control. No, it's not. Right? So it's not always a great place to take a trade. It's rarely a good place to take a trade, in my opinion. If you look back to yesterday, okay, this was a nice breakdown through the point of control, but it was really a break of the VWAP and the rejection, not the point of control. It's not always. Oh, sorry. This is the composite point of control. So, right here, point of control. You would think that, okay, boom, it's gonna break through the point of control right here, and you would have gotten rejected. That would have been a trap, right? Eventually, it broke down, but you would have got chopped up in here trying to get in and out to get into your trade. You want to short here. You want to buy here. That's pretty much how I do it, right? So I turn my alerts off because didn't want them going off while we were doing this. But if you look here, like, this is how I do it, right? I have my range. This is the range that I'm trading. I have my alerts, POC, value area high, value area low. And you could do this on the daily, but like on a day like this, when your value area is like $1,000 range, you don't want to use that. So, breaking below here, that was a great long. This was a great short. This was a great long. So this is how I go about my day, and I could chill and I could watch TV and do whatever the hell I want, because until price is really outside of here, I don't really care about it. Okay, I would have, you could have missed this trade here because it didn't break outside of value, but it was outside of value on a daily perspective and below the composite POC. Now the composite POC holds way more weight than this point of control here on the daily, right? This is the strongest area of volume for the last 3 days, 39.2. So this break, rejection at 39.2, was a great short to the lows. That's how I look at it. Where are we at? Lord Samurai, you missed everything, bro. watch the review. What feed do I use, Steven? So I usually look at Bybit and I look at FTX. I don't really lean on Binance that much. You can use Binance. I think Binance data flow is similar to a BitMEX data flow. So with Pro, you have access to BitMEX. With EXO Charts Pro, you have access to BitMEX, and you have access to.
Here's your reminder from my daily mindset skill.
Sorry. So yeah, you have access to BitMEX and Bybit on EXO Charts Pro. But if you use the web, I showed you all the ones you can use. I do look at multiple exchanges for my strategy. Mostly when I do that, it's on here, right? So if I want to look at, the book, kind of see, like, this is FTX, right? So I see that really only people want to buy the lows here that have resting bids, right? Lower, you got bids at 35, 34. And then, I'll take a look at Binance. I'll see what they have, and usually it is nothing, 36 is the only level that stands out here. I find that Binance on the weekend, their book is kind of thin. During the week, it's usually more relevant. And obviously Coinbase. But Coinbase is what I call an amateur exchange. There are orders layered at every round number, right? So 38, 37.5, 37, 36, 35. It's pretty much there are always bids at levels. Some levels will have more than others, right? But you still have bids here at 30, 28, 24. There's just always bids sitting there. This is the retail exchange. It doesn't really tell you much about price action until you get to those levels, But just to show you, in terms of size, right? So, a big order on a big level on Coinbase is 100. It's okay. There are no levels with 200 Bitcoin sitting, except for 35. Meanwhile, on a futures exchange, you'll have 1,000 Bitcoin sitting at a level sometimes. So Coinbase, not that useful in terms of price action, in terms of fast price action, in terms of looking at levels where people are sitting, spot bidders. It's pretty good, but I don't lean on it too much on a day-to-day basis. Unless we're dumping, right? Then I look for where the bleeding may stop. All right. What else do we got? Where is okay. Uh a belly head. Yeah, Ruko. A belly head. That's exactly what we have at the top. A belly head. Um by a belly head he means like this area up here. You know, fat belly, skinny legs, right? Point of control at the, usually it's better if it's at the top, like this composite point of control is. That's a belly head, and then breakdown. The desktop app, I can load Trading View. I can load everything. Let me show you really quick. So here we go. I add, right? And then I hit web, right? Coinbase, FTX, Silico Terminal, Trading View, Viewbase, Coinalyze, everything, Glassnode. And they have it set up automatically. You just basically go to your account, log in, and you're good to go. Oh man, you're 59 minutes late to college. If I was a professor, they would have kicked you out of class, bruh. Twin primes. This DOM that you're seeing right here, this is the Bybit DOM. So you only have the options of BitMEX, Bybit Futures, or Bybit Spot. So this is that is the futures DOM, right? That's what you're looking at right here. Alright. Any other questions? Pretty damn sick. It is, man. This shit is sweet. I love it, man. I can't believe I was doing without it for a while. I always use the web, but for some reason I just never got around to. I got heavily involved in using Quant Tower, and I never used the desktop. And one thing I got to tell you guys about this thing is that this thing uses like 0 CPU power. Like right now, I have like, I don't know, 128 gigabytes of RAM or something like that. All of these windows together, everything that I've showed you that's running through these EXO windows is using like less than 3 gigabytes of data of my RAM. And of the PC, it's like less than 2% of my PC compared to Quant Tower that'll be using like 10% or 15% at sometimes. This thing is a beast. It's awesome. I love it. It is fantastic. Desktop for Mac, not so great. Funny story is, I used to try to trade on my Mac, and yeah, you're right, Twin Primes on the Mac. I never tried the desktop, but even the web, the the web page, it would like freeze, or especially when I was using these trend reversal candles, it would just freeze or just go like flat across. It was very bad. My recommendation, man, I have a laptop that's a Mac. I got a MacBook Pro, super powerful thing. I hate it for trading. I built my computer from like the ground up, um, and I love it. And I built my computer for like pretty much what I paid for my MacBook Pro, and it's like 4 times as fast. Um, Macs are just not good for trading programs. Quant Tower, this, um, I don't even like looking at my trading view on my Mac. It's just they're trash. They're just not built for this. That's my rant on Apple. I literally just got my MacBook back because it had some type of defect from the factory, and like the screen, if I opened the screen too wide, it went black, and I had to send it in and wait for them to send it back. They're they're not built for this. That's simple and plain. And I was worried about going back to using Windows and the operating system. I don't miss it at all. Only thing I miss is like being able to iMessage people and do things like that, FaceTime. But that's what Telegram is for now. So anyway, um, yeah, yeah. I don't have like the M1 MacBook. My MacBook Pro that I have right now will definitely be the last Apple computer I'll ever buy. 100%. I'll get like a sick gaming PC for my next laptop for like half the price of a MacBook Pro. Um, so yeah. Um, these are my I'm gonna say your name wrong. Kawabe. Um, these are my settings, right? So basically, you have templates. I got my TPO, got my footprint, got my trend reversal template, um, and within the web. So you can't take templates from the Pro and move it to the web, but you could take your web templates and move it to the Desktop Pro, which is actually, this is one of my old templates from the Desktop Pro. So, and you can see here, right? It does the same thing as looking at the TPO chart. Buy tail, 38.5. Boom. Up to these highs. Outside of value area, sell. Right? Sell tail. Still holding up. Um, just an amazing program. So, I just want to take some time, guys, to focus on this. Going back to TradingView, just go high time frame. Just strictly focusing on Bitcoin here. Right? So, going back to basically the highs on the daily. This is where we broke down from, so that push up to 42, this was the short signal breaking back below this huge area of volume there, swept, and now we are attempting to move off of this area of demand right here, right? If you go, so this 37 area right here, these lows, this is kind of where I want to see if it holds, right? We bounced there on Monday, and it was, very short-lived, low volume, and we pushed off for this move that was really, I don't think, would have even happened without the executive order. I think it was just strictly news based, and that's all it was. So I think now we are at a point where, if you go back and you look at where we are, like on the 4 hour chart, we're stuck in this area of demand here, right? This is where that's being weird, but we're pretty much just stuck here, right? We have the composite point of control running through this area. We're currently above it. That's literally what we bounced off of yesterday. Like 38, the 38.4 went down to 38.4, which is here, and made the bounce, right? So right now it's these lows here, these lows here, and this point of control down to there. This is what we're dealing with right now, right? I feel like we're gonna keep pushing up this 40 area. I don't think we push through, because one thing that people are sitting here on this weekend trying to buy Bitcoin on this ridiculously low volume, and then you have this, right? Equities closed in free fall on Friday, and I definitely don't see them just totally reversing. I don't know, maybe there's some news over the weekend with the war, but what you guys got to think, what you got to keep in mind is, dude, we have rate hikes next week. So, I'm not too, keen on thinking that we're just going to move up from here. Stuck in this range last 3 days. I probably won't even trade for the rest of the day. Probably get out and enjoy some life. Saturdays are usually the worst. Sundays you start to get the volume pick up, in the morning, and then heading into futures open. But this is just straight trading on value, nothing going on here. Rejection at these highs, probably go back to the lows, probably bounce at these lows. I don't know, we'll see. But big picture, I would focus on 37 and like mid 36s, and below that like 35 and a half. Above, obviously you guys know what's above, right? 40, 4200, and then these highs. Do we get up here on the weekend? I think it's zero chance, my opinion. Very slim odds. But that's what I'm thinking, guys. Any more questions? And then we'll wrap it up. Stephen Anthony, you have a question about the effect of imbalance on the chart. imbalances usually occur at areas. Um, imbalances usually occur at areas where there was previous, where usually, I guess your question is, does it recur can't speak, does it recur at a retracement area, or I guess a support or resistance level, right? So the answer is yes, right? You usually do get imbalances, right? Like if you look here, um, this was the daily low over here, right? No imbalance on the daily low, but that was the daily low. Now we come back here, retrace that level, and now you have the imbalance at the low, and then we moved up, right? So yeah, they usually do occur at areas where price previously was. Nice. EXO Discord. Sweet. I need to get on there. Yeah, weather is crap. It's actually rain, sleet, snowing here right now. Um, it is a crappy day. That's why I'm doing this on a Saturday. Probably get out and walk the dog in the snow in a bit. Trend reversal candles. Yeah. If you just go online, you just type trend reversal candles. I even think through EXO there is a. If you go on EXO, right? Let me see here. If you go on EXO, there is a whole section. If you go to the profile part, there's a whole section that has information. I can't show it to you because I just realized I would dox my email address. But if you go to there, you can just pretty much see that it gives you information and documentation on everything that they have. So trend reversal candles, range candles. You have volume candles, range candles, tick candles, trend reversal candles, point and figure candles, and you can basically go on there and there's documentation about all of those. So yeah. All right. So I guess I'll wrap it up there, guys. Expect boring. I hope you guys got a lot out of this EXO, this EXO tutorial here. I kind of wanted to get this out of the way because I didn't want to be doing streams and people be like, "Oh, what's that? What's that? What's that line? What does that do?" So hopefully, now I could just refer to, if you don't know this, go check the stream on the EXO tutorial. But yeah, thanks guys. Hope everybody has a good weekend. Look out for on Monday. I'm going to be hopping on a stream with the famous Trader EXO, the legendary. I'm sorry. Oh my God, I said Trader EXO. Gotta edit that out. Trader SZ, my bad. Hopping on Bitcoin with Ledges with Trader SZ, and I hope you guys can join. It's gonna be 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So wherever you are, figure that out. I think it's 1900 GMT or UTC. So hop on that, check it out. Should be a good one. Putting together some good stuff to introduce to his followers because, they're just kind of used to his support and resistance levels and how he does ranges. And I kind of want to introduce them to some of the behind the scenes stuff that we do here. So check it out if you can. Anybody new, remember, like, subscribe, and I'll see some of you guys Monday, and then probably do a midweek stream sometime next week. All right. Again, thank you guys for joining. Take it easy.